Sorry, we just started recording now. You missed the pistol.
对，而且他们还获得了一个手杀在手里。2楼对于维卡术的防范就是你开门我关门，有一个人在那边跟他
But
然后
yeah,
队友从
TYLOO kind of just stomped with it.
过来之后，那对于 DRG 来讲
First time we've seen TYLOO play this map, and they're running the FPX comp.
是穿完全纯混烟。
And for DRG, for the most part, at least recently, it's been a successful map for them. But considering they're a map down, picking a map where you've never seen your opponent play on it, it's a bit risky. And I don't think TYLOO were necessarily banning out Breeze either that much. So, a little bit concerning. Yeah, all of the A main fighting is good. Got the Jet and the Viper over here with a retake wall, TP over here. TYLOO showing a lot with it. They know all of the little like setups and stuff that you can do. With Vukashu, the only one that's bought up on this eco because they have a Marshal. Requires Ice King to actually push with a Ghost to get one more because TZH wasn't expecting it, I don't think. Shion's pushed up a little bit more. They've planted for backside because that's the space that they've taken. Vukashu's getting a little bit more. Oh man. You got this late rotation as well. Obviously, AK needs to take their time because like losing people here. And they're last alive. They have a Guardian. Yeah, saving. Okay, well, we missed the pistol, but at least we got this round. I mean, the adjustment from DRG was nice. It was just this A main aggression that came in from the defense. They just pick up the pace here. Just open up, like... I know that we're seeing more of like a very, like, deep, I suppose, eco sort of period of the game, where you don't typically buy up even like sheriffs and stuff on an eco like this. Never mind a Marshal. But here, just Vukashu showing how impactful one Marshal can be. TYLOO playing retake A, I guess? I mean, not really. They were fighting in here with 3. But it was just good for DRG to recognize, oh, they're really fighting us hard here. Let's go try and take space somewhere else quickly. I mean, Vukashu he's been practicing with a Marshal, clearly. So I do like this call that they sort of just went this way. You can also go like this way. Yeah, Vu just watching across in mid. Nice setup here from Ice King. As soon as he goes to like turn around and put one of the other smokes down, that's when Luke pushes him. It's a little bit unlucky. Good shots from Flexin. That was like, I guess this is kind of a bonus now if you're gonna play it that way, but I don't think you do. I think you just play it normally.
毕竟身体的话，大家的命中率都是非常之高的，只是非常精准的这个头部命中确实比较困难一些。这场真是狙击盛宴，两支队伍的狙击枪飞将猛侠，到后面一定会有明狙在的。对，罗卡数也是换了开始。
Maybe if I move this down a bit less stress. So yeah, you got the KO and the Jet pushing up elbow. You got Vu making a hell of a lot of noise in halls. We got Silver watching this. Camera to watch for holes and for A main. Trip across here, trip across here. And they're pinging this just because it's the one area that they haven't cleared. But this is good like map control from DRG. Like holding against this, because yeah, this is a place that the TYLOO comp is going to fight for an awful lot. You've taken mid control, you've put pressure in holes. But you've got a good portion of the map, which means that like this rotation is going to be a little bit tricky. You got the Yoru that can TP, so you can sort of get past a lot of the scary spots, but I don't know, just everybody goes in from DRG. Bless you.
这么有实力，他中路2楼全管了。 一梭子压到底之后，把2楼的 Vokasu 也打掉了，让 DRG 的这个3路协同没有出现。
Bless you again.
TYLOO 真的是研究了很多 DRG 之前进攻的手段，知道他们就是这3个方向过来的，所以每个人的位置。
Banland bless you as well.
而且猎桥这个位
置是
一个常规位，他既可以看 A 大，然后同时如果说从2楼过来，那他也可以你开门我关门，你开门我关门嘛。而且刚才的问题是在于尼克不能说走中路，因为中路对方是没有烟的，而 A 场是有一颗星云在，他必须打一个出烟闪 A 大才能进。对，所以闪光位一定要走 A 场。那中路可能就有唐哲浩一个人过去了，先假吃一颗球，看看有没有人能出来。如果来的话，我看出还有一个接口，有神经曲息。 下小等，等愿者上钩，但是现在点内只有 SKIN 一个人 ，SKIN 选择的直架，他这个位置其实容错率不高的，抽掉一个，然后再给烟，没闪了。
Just spraying in the right places too.
再回头混一下，这卢克也被混到了一个残血，并且
And just
不是这分是没有一个
be fighting in holes. Drone's gonna push him back.
Aaron 跟字母哥2个人过来抓补卡出一个。
It's good posturing. It's a shame that you've lost Nick this early.
DRG 持续做一波静音，因为后点有半线，知道 B 点。
Yeah, you want to be forcing out some of this Astro utility. There's 1 star still which you haven't picked up towards here. And they're just able to peek before they put up another smoke. Recon is really well timed from HFMI too. I mean, these executes similar to Bind. They're just been hauled out. Instead of it being like really like high tempo stuff, it's just yeah, walking through mud again.
小身位的 pick 中自己先掉了，而 DRG 最缺的就是对方起星云之后这一颗闪存过在，所以在没有了这个闪光位之后，后续的进点就非常非常困难。SKIN 这个头皮位，金字塔的头皮位感觉就是为
TYLOO looking good here.
对他接掉一个，然后立马再给星云保护自己，这样对面哪怕给了寻敌剑也找不到他的位置。明局来了，但博卡楚的飞将也在。
Yeah, I think TYLOO being 2 and 3 when he's still, I mean, their group is really tricky anyway. I see why it's being picked. Yeah, I mean, for DRG though, I feel like you have to play into this comp a certain way and then not. Because I think the way that you beat the Astra is you just come in at pace. You can't like slow default your way around. Like this is a sort of lower by. If you think of like the eco round that TYLOO lost after winning the pistol, like that's kind of stuff that you want to be doing a bit more. And also because there's no cipher, like going to B should be at least more of an option. But DRG even on Bind had a bad habit of just kind of hitting one site too much. You replace Jet for KO and it's such an insane com. I feel like there's probably something else that could be cooked up. Because I don't really like KO on this map at all. I'm just curious on what you can do otherwise, I guess. Could you add in the cipher? Fuck, you could add in a chamber.
虽然说天路这个阵容中没有上位，但是他们仿佛已经把 DRG 所有人的站位通过 DRG 之前的录像了然于心了，心里有地图，知道你的位置。这套阵容看似它是一个没有哨位的阵容，但其实它的防守每一个点都是重防，因为2楼会有居架，然后再加上两边这个夜路可以来回传送。 他可以最快的时间赶到点内和队友一起打协同，对，再加上星坠这个英雄和夜路一样拥有全图性技能，他可以在全图任何一个点位去放置自己的星云。那说真的，我觉得天路这个 A 点的防守力度相对来说还是比较薄弱的，因为他没有太多的拖延的 AOE 的伤害技能，他最多就2颗烟，可能还有一些直架的枪线。现在有一把明具的加持，所以。
Flashing through smokes against an attack. I don't know.
这其实就是运气问题。如果说他打一波，就是再打一个一波流进点的话，对手光有一个。
I think if you wanna like have flashes alongside the Euro.
啊，那这一把的话，我看出还是保安，但是
And because the KO I think just makes it.
果然从暂停回来
KO makes it harder to play, but I don't think the ceiling of the comp gets any higher.
作为一个单烟的
That's why I'm a little bit like.
给的如此之早。
Honestly, like, I've said it a few times, I'm surprised at the complete lack of Sky on this map.
然后还有一颗烟，
要不要无效命令？
还和
I mean, especially with, like, any Cypher changes.
我就来保自己一条命。
Like, Sky flashes have always been pretty good here.
知道你在这儿 ，SK 还要玩这一套。之前卢克就是在这击杀的他，找到了。
He got suppressed just as he tried to go.
立马补枪。
He got very unlucky there timing-wise.
再拉过来，字母哥打掉一个人。
TYLOO's playing the Gen G comp, right? Yes.
那我们现在看一下
但现在没烟喽，独木是升不起来的哦。队友想要进来，给个闪，帮助消防器带着爆弹。
But I also think that, like,
算是安全的
Jet and Euro together is good.
我方还剩一人，这两个
Because Jet becomes more of, like, a control pick, I suppose, because of, like, stuff like AK has here with the op.
三架三个人一起来架枪，而且还可以解码狙，可以让卢克来用。
是的，我是觉得 DRG 在之前
And more just firepower on an execute too. It's not just a Jet that has to. Sorry.
他们之前还是以
When you have a Jet on a tap, they can be the one that's like entering and dashing in properly.
加雷击剑防止你明居的前压。
And then the Euro can play around it. I think when you have Euro as a solo duelist,
在单向烟这边等了很久。
I think you kind of put them into a position where there's only so much that they can do.
并且 SK 这个摸烟，有些烟是可以。
Does that make sense? Like you're almost playing the Euro as the KO.
障云不行，因为障云比较小。哦，不是障云比较小，是黑障比较小。而且障云里面其实看不到人。
哎，但是天路其实也换了，天路这回合是把独木放到了 A 点里面，因为 B 点里面是可以展开自己的回复的。
小型无人机来找人。
看到狙了 ，AK 在的位置肯定是狙击枪。
我是猎人。
Yeah, just the info.
射人，但是现在3箭射出去，字母哥是1箭没有中。
And so many of the flashes really are like from distance ones, so
2楼是唐哲浩在。
I think you want another duelist to play off of it.
我卡数是卡在了中路，最后一波近点，我觉得 DRG 得给一些技能在，或者是无效命令，或者是狂烈之怒，一定要有一些配合，因为天路现在的枪位已经架好了。
AK 也不敢开刀，他开刀马上就。
Euro is the equivalent of Tracer and real skill ceiling. Oh, for sure, yeah.
明居的直架现在全图静悄悄，没有太多的声音。DRG 在等待技能的 CD。I
think Riot have done a really good job reworking them. Like considering that just the like those are the moments where I'm like, take a KO flash out and put a Sky flash in. You have a little bit more leeway.
夜路的攻击不备也是出现了，但是自己人
It would be something that I'd be keen to try. You know, that's how I see the Sky. And I don't think it's like an S tier best in slot comp. My point is more like I'm just surprised that nobody has tried it. Out of all of the stuff that people are cooking up on various maps, I'm really surprised that nobody's gone just play the old comps on Breeze. Because it used to be before, like pretty much the comps that DRG are running, but instead of the KO you'd have a Sky. That like some teams will play KO, some teams will play Sky. That'd be pretty much it. But since the Sky nerfs, I've seen legit nobody run Sky on this map. Maybe Vitality have? I can't remember. Yeah, considering Riot missed the mark with Euro's original design and stuff, and like the rework still left a lot to be desired, I guess. It's still cool that they managed to actually like pull it off to be in this position where he's good, he's viable, but he's not super OP.
15秒钟就给独木，我就是把独木放在 A 点，我就是要进攻你的 A 点，你已知我打 A 点，我就看你怎么守。
I think the rounds of Breeze and defaults are just very drawn out. Maps are big, Sky isn't as good. I just like it's just simple stuff, right? Like Sky dogging this and like flashing deep. Seekers is still a fantastic ult. I guess healing isn't as useful because everybody's on Vandals and everybody's headshotting for the most part.
可能是想回防用，但是回防的时候通常都是一个人数的劣势，而且他也没有
like I said,
字母哥进行配合，对吧？字母哥的第一个狂烈之怒也是自己先用掉了，并没有说
thought that more people would be trying it at least.
来找人，我也放小型无人机，零点秀探，探一下，探到点的有人了。
But I also wonder with the Viper nerfs that are coming in, whether you'd want to just play more double controller anyhow. Alright, he executes. Just kind of been slapped down a little bit. Great shot from HFMI. Euro 2, I'm assuming, because of how fast he's moving, yeah. And they saw him anyway.
这一回合对于 DRG 的进攻来讲，其实缺了一环啊。2楼跟 A 大到位了，中路的人好像不见了。
I think the range limitations on the Sky Util is why they're favoring the K over the Sky mostly.
直接进行了一发头部命中。
而博卡鼠开始是做了很久的默认，然后再慢慢回来了，地图控制。
Yeah. Yeah.
所有的技能其实都扑在了 SK 一个人的身上。2楼，你有动静，你得开门才行。开门就是一个很明确的信号，我再来看你。
I mean, I just think this comp that DRG's playing is a little bit more like well-rounded. I actually think the DRG's comp is harder to play because for TYLOO, you're effectively taking what other people have sort of set up and done, but your default is almost entirely the same. Like the amount of times that I've seen teams try to run the Gen G comp like TYLOO were doing, that they just kind of get ran over constantly, and they're like, what's our plan B? Well, we don't have a plan B because we're just taking this default from Gen G and this is all they did, right? So at least DRG, even if they're starting off rough, which they did here, there's a lot of like adjustments that you can make. That was... The recon that was just way too late, it felt, from Xion. Like, Luke dashed in. I mean, he's very lucky to be alive, but I don't know how on earth Xion missed him. Xion having a hell of a round. Oh, TZH goes down 2. I mean, this wasn't one off the comp this round, that's for sure. This was just DRG looking incredibly disjointed. How viable is Silver with Sky? Just curious. I think more than you'd think. Depends on the map more than anything. I met somebody on Pacific Chat that knows Mandarin. Maybe you could get them to watch and help with your stream sometime. We've got quite a few like Mandarin speakers. Yeah, Silver's just too good here because of how big the map is.
对方的习惯站位上真的下了很大的功夫啊，每一次混烟都有所成效。DRG 好像知道这个中路是非抢不可了，我每次都被你中路的人打。
这回要来打中路。
这回合的站位比较合理的是3个中路，1个 A 长，然后1个可能去上2楼，或者是防你2楼下来抓我的位置。只是
Tell them about your stream. Thank you. You didn't need to, Jen, but thank you.
光位在中路。 而收音7在 A 大，
okay.
但他这个应该是低抛闪，先过
Flash, just a right click flash, not really getting anything close. They still just bully AK. Ice King, hello. Was he suppressed? Or was he just not really in a position? I didn't DRG look at map 1 really rough. TYLOO with a really good defense side. DRG just on attack. On a macro heavy map like Bind on attack, they just don't have the coordination to make it work. Very caveman approach, I suppose.
而且2颗闪光里就抓你 AK 一个人，因为 AK 确实前2分都是一个人单守中路的，压力不是特别大。 而中路给到了压力之后 ，A 大再
This is just one of those typical series where it's just. If this was FIFA, you're just simulating the game, right? Like the result is important, and it's like, oh, that's interesting, but like the games themselves. I guess this map is saved at the fact that like they're running different comps. It's kind of interesting to see how they play them.
前期对方的混烟效率实在是太高了。
Or just why didn't they have the smoke ready? Ice King. I don't know if he was suppressed or not. But he can't have been suppressed because HFMI was Eld running. So he was just not ready.
这回知道了，而且得连 SK 直接被打掉，这是一个常规混点。
中路也有一个人，
对你常规混，我也常规。
I mean, TYLOO do play really well. Like their utility usage is good. I think it's like their general like macro stuff is like fairly solid. Like it's just all micro that lets them down. It's some of those just decision-making skills in chaotic moments that just let them down massively. I think in Angels, they look a little bit panicky. Other than AK, of course.
字母哥又是一发头部命中，这一把两边的瞄准都是非常的精准。
是的，这一分其实
What's the score currently for Genji in T1?
后能给到天路的回防时间限制是非常
Because it was close at the start of the game
天路
too.
的枪法实力以及巨刃这种极致的瞄准，真的是今天能展现出来，打赢了。
10-7 for T1. Wow.
而且在2楼的时候，艾伦是打过了沃卡数，所以这一分打下来之后，后路没有人，他们在前，他们就只能。
They it was their map pick first. Oh no, it was Genji's. Genji picked the side. When is the Wolves game? Wolves are done. Wolves are done for the rest of this stage. We're not going to see them until June? July even? Is it July? Trying to think.
不是补星喽，是一个迷惑的问号。
Yeah, like sort of mid-June.
艾伦也是使用夜路这个英雄的。
对，夜路这个英雄有些时候
对就是这样，就是这样，
抓头。其实这个有点像。
Yeah, the Wolves game was yesterday. They got decimated by JDG.
确实，教练的这个 reaction 我们也是非常关注的一点。
But I honestly don't mind saying, if people want to go and watch that Pacific qualifying game for Shanghai and see how it ends, you are more than welcome.
Ice King 用到了星坠，星坠也是之前他。
So I don't know how much we're realistically missing here.
在里面，我记得他的星坠的使用。
YouTube streamers Wolves on the thumbnail. Am I tripping?
是来到了自己比较曾经擅长过的英雄，只是现在出场率比较低了，又拿到了手里，而且他们也提前适应了新版本，对吧？
对，
并没有使用零这样一个哨位。
而新锐这个英雄
，Yeah, you are right.
当我们看到天路的进攻方，他如果不跟队友
，You are actually right.
就是挂在 A2楼的管道以及这个出生点附近，就一般在这挂机，然后阻止对手过来。
They just didn't change it from yesterday, I guess.
新的手势。
Yeah, it's TYLOO versus DRG. The second game is right. It's BLG versus FPX.
来看一下，其实对于 DRG 来讲，上半场他们曾经有过一些迷茫，然后也可以说面对到对方无有哨位的这个阵容中，有踩入到对方的陷阱里面。我没有哨位嘛，你可能就会摸我各个角落，但其实通常那个时候天路都会有人去看守这些点位上。但你要去找对方的话，你要预瞄的点位要搜的位置其实相对来说比较多的，很容易被防守方抓 timing。
对，
后续他们还是叫完一个暂
Production of Wolves fans as well.
得分的那种 A 的体系，在不同的人员配比上都做了不同的尝试。但上半场我觉得天路能比分领先的这个原因，还是因为他们之前其实有的时候运气也站在他们这里，因为混烟的击杀效率实在是太高了，直接给 DRG 有点打懵了。
但是后面其实卢克也想好了，就你每次也站这个位置，我也开始去混你，所以打到最后2分的时候，每一次在点内的 SK 也是会被混掉的。
召唤阿斯帕斯
啊。
召唤阿斯帕斯说
This looks a bit like it's a sort of tech pause mixed in with a halftime.
47杀之力。
In so many games where teams trade map picks, that's crazy how often it happens. Map picks just aren't as dominant for teams anymore, really. And most teams know, like, okay, if they pick Ascent against us, we're going to be on the defense. If they pick Lotus against us, we're going to be on the attack. They sort of know what half that they want to exploit first. And also, if you're super obvious with your picks, it just means that you're more open to being anti-stratted. Like, I think EDG had the right idea by diversifying their picks. So you don't really know what their best map is, because they're happy to play everything.
进了世界赛之后，考验一下外赛区的解说，念字母哥的 ID。去
年的时候，在 ASE 打大师赛的时候，当时就有很多解说念，然后就说
That's the HFMI name, hide his real name and stuff.
然后中间的时候乱拼的。
Wait, on what?
其实每个 ID 对于选手来说还是有自己深刻的含义的。双方攻守互换以后
Okay, up 15-7 for AK. They've been having a really good series thus far. Nick and Xion. Xion was superb on this map last time, I think, against Trace.
今天我感觉天路所有人的手感都很好。
Let's see how this team attacks too. Just farming up Euro ults like nobody's business.
或者截锋的话，他也可以主锋嘛。
对，那如果他们
Is there a play actually off this flash though? That's the question.
这个闪应该是不丢的，除非你再次过来反击，他会打闪过来找你。
可能知道一开始 Vukasu 的
They have it in
喜
hand.
欢守在 B 区里面的 SK 被抽了一下，
So I get, were they just waiting and expecting some like aggression again?
要来救他。
Ice King is really low from this little fight.
之后可以
And good control from Vukasu and Shion actually to get all of this. Like Ice King is essentially boxed in for the time being and needs some help from his teammates.
来了，帮助 SK
The spike was left in spawn, so I think the plan was always to go towards B.
对他们来说也很关键。
对，
再倒回来打一波。
Genji fumbled an ult heavy after plant. Oh
在 B
Christ.
点里面其实是 DRG 比较乐意看到你去打的一点，因为他们的独木也放在了 B 点，可以分割战场，到时候打回防。
Good for T1 to be attending Shanghai though. That's a big one for them.
然后再清下半区。
Because I really didn't expect that much from them, to be honest. You know, in the group stage.
给正面打闪，然后再来个重力之紧，不看数被吸到，身上有个易碎的效果，然后再稍微照了一下。
I mean, the utility came in way too
有
early.
一个半线的，来看一下，不看数直接摸出来，一
I
个都没有
mean,
打掉。
Vukashi's a little bit unlucky there more than anything.
弗洛辛从中路
Flexing, nice couple of kills.
那现在这个回防非常
So it's like looking to be
就是一枪的身子。
3 and 1 on pistols. Entirely picking both of them up here.
没道理，正义的子弹打完以后，
Maybe too early to say.
说现在人数优势。
T1's done it. They're going to Shanghai.
一发。
Nice. I mean, that's a great turnaround from how this stage had been looking from
打一
them.
枪的，大家可以换一把鬼魅，但是对于他来说，这个残局太难打了。你一进来，马上就一个寻敌剑，好，寻敌剑照到了，然后再马上一个3加。
I think overall for their whole year, though, it's not a good idea for them to be going to Shanghai.
两下身体稳稳带走。
Because they get a couple more like champions points, but you've got like Gen G and
发出想要
DRX and Paper X to face off with a bit there.
不小心了。
对，
But you've only got like 2 wins in groups, right?
反正这技能出了，但是他这样直接出，这个毒物绝对是有人在预瞄的。
对，而且人肯定很多，对方已经给了一整套技能在了。
对，卢克这边定位也
I bet like China, like Shanghai organizers will be happy if Gen G don't make it though. Makes that whole business a little less complicated.
因为这一次他是像之前一样起小甲。
Yeah, TYLOO will eventually win the pistol.
飞起来，飞将找人。我卡数这个血量就是。
The recon dart here, KO knife gets 2. Recon dart for elbow as well on the defense. The teams actually try for Shanghai if they don't think they can win champs, just to get that international trophy. Well, like winning champs does a lot with just getting a few extra points, and it depends how it divvies out. But yeah, like for T1, you don't want to be relying, I guess, on points too much. Like, you want to be doing good in groups. That like doing good in groups is the priority of doing well in playoffs or attending an international event. The one thing that you want to get right is those group stage games, and then everything else is just a bonus. Oh man, Shion. It's why this game is like still really important for TYLOO and DRG, which I'm glad. I'm glad that we still have these games, I suppose, in like group stages, that even though you have one team that's qualified for playoffs and one team that hasn't, it's still important for TYLOO to win this series if they want to get their chances of making stage 2 playoffs to keep them alive.
字母哥现在离得有点远了，对，
那只有弗勒辛跟艾伦两个人在一起。
And Gen G have like a week, don't they, to prep for
两边血量其实有一个都是
like the losers qualifier game,
前点
right?
对面哦，来前点，这出位被摆设。
Oh my god.
还有右键，
那标配这
直接拆了。
这不是你的包啊，艾伦。先给一个传送，包好像拆完了。
Oh no, like tomorrow, isn't it? Is it tomorrow?
没办法，压力太大了，时间是来不及全部拆完的，所以唐志豪只能够起身。这一回合
It's tomorrow the losers bracket game, so Gen G would play tomorrow against the loser of DRX and Paper X. So we'll have our 3 Pacific teams by tomorrow.
这也是漏了一个侧身。卢克因为提前已经摸到管道附近了。
It's kind of funny though that the first team attending Shanghai is fucking T1.
夜路的这个
Like he would have called that.
难防的。
但第二季很赚啊，这一分打了非常多的伤线。
但天路也
Preds for next game, clean FX 2-0.
比分又是
It would look like that.
以后也可以拖缓卢克在防守方起到
Billy though looked kind of clean against the JDG last week.
准备去找人，所以说准备精准制导。
Considering Gen G is also in it. I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying it'd be a lot less complicated for the China broadcast to not have Genji in it.
中路都找到4个，打闪传回来。 这边是一个假打，哇 ，Ice King 截住了中路的胜。那现在不看出有点危险了，他是没有半线的，他唯一的半线是在2楼，而 B 点马上就要。
What's the problem with Genji in China? Long story. I guess just look it up.
看看不怕说能不能靠枪说话，但是压枪就不行了。
点头是可以的，压枪可能不太行。卢克现在敢出烟吗
All right, so
消散了的烟，他知道点内有一个人。
TYLOO won the pistol, won the follow-up. On a bonus hit, I mean, it's a beefy bonus. They've bought up in some cases, but 4v3. Guns are arguably better, I suppose, for TYLOO than they are in DRG right now. Don't need to keep peeking AK, but okay, you go off King.
哇，这一波
他不会想到中路这个时候有2个人在的，哇，马上就一个分身。他一起来的时候，一看对面4个人，
正面的钩子全部被 AK 给打掉了。 已经有非常多的人数优势，这一回合 Aaron 的神鬼不绝拿到了4个防守队员的站位信息，直接让 Ice King 在中路的单走拿到了首杀。而且这波做的太真了，又是神鬼不绝，又是消息无人机，独木你也给了。
Yeah, Genji misspoke on a certain topic, and China weren't a fan.
他们真的打得非常好啊！今天天路真的感觉有点不像他们了。
他们确实打出了非常多的配合，而且每个人的枪法也没有任何的失误，混烟又有击杀。
So TYLOO planned for third round is full buy-in. It wasn't a full buy though. They still had a bonus. They just bought up some of the weapons. They might have. I wasn't looking at ult costs and stuff, but maybe AK was happy to buy up a rifle because he has a Blade Storm now. You know. So if they had lost a round, everybody else could buy up, and then AK could just have something else.
还是在一个养成系的初期，因为他的夜路可能有的时候不以击杀为目的，他看到单走的人，他还是以拿信息为主的，帮助自己保活。在防守方的时候，他的神鬼不绝也没有。
I found it now. Yeah. It's a very annoying topic.
后续我觉得他这个夜路应该会更多的跟一些队友的终极技能打出。
But also for some of the people who maybe like creeped in from the end of T1 versus Genji. The next series should be quite good of FPX and Billy, but if there's gaps in between DRX and PaperX and you come in and you check the TYLOO still playing, just go back to the mainstream. Go back to Sliggy. It's not worth.
哎，但是这个0点修探的区域都被规避掉了。而且卢克摸中路。
Yeah, I mean Genji starting to get a little bit nervous in the bigger moments. We saw it at Madrid.
唯一的一把步枪是在。
I want to see DRG win. I don't, because that requires us to be here for like another hour and a bit.
但是 Ice King 这一回合也是防止对方战术暂停之后去单抓他，退到了很后点。
It sucked for DRG to win, but I would be happy to see a 13-5 here for TYLOO and just get it over and done with. That's my team you're talking about, yeah. You're so done. I just don't want... No, it's just this, like, get me onto the good stuff, you know? Like, I am literally sat here watching this team that haven't qualified for playoffs. DRG have qualified for playoffs. I am sat here watching this over T1 having an upset win against Genji. And then PaperX and DRX playing for Shanghai. And I'm watching this instead. Of course, I'm like, just get it over and done with. You see what I mean?
还是卡出的飞将，这2杆枪都有点说法，但是天路手里的枪命中起来更痛，可以一发秒杀对方。
But you love China, don't you? Mostly.
一把步枪过来，然后现在还有
2颗手稳在哦，弗勒星可以稳一下，让 Aaron 先去看 Aaron， 但是他没打赢，弗勒星的位置也是
1v1。
现在再换位置，他有手稳的可以拖时间，他甚至可以用技巧性投掷，而尼克。
Come on, flexing, don't be shit.
不去找的话，其实机会会比较少哦。
给蛇稳，晃一下，弹墙蛇稳，弹到了，知道位置，再给一个蛇稳。No
real time now. I mean, the second step by wasn't great. All right, nice. Now that you putting it that way, it's reasonable, yeah.
非常冷静。是的，已经确定蝰蛇的位置的情况下，如果你不主动去 A 场找他的话，技能真的能拖死，而且这个爆能器 A 场完全能看。
Like, this is the one game this week that doesn't have any impact on anything. I think if DRG win, they go top seed, but that's only if EDG lose. But I don't think that's likely either. But we got 3 people called Autumn. We got T1's coach, FPX Autumn, and then Autumn that's in this chat. Too many Autumns.
这份技能其实给挺多的。对 ，SK 直接打掉卢克大狙，卢克这个狙是不知道是怎么空的。
The murmuring and stuff afterwards too.
晃了一下，然后贴到掩体旁边。
是的 ，SK 今天有一点神出鬼没了，在进攻边，他这个单线玩的真漂亮，而且每次都在 B 点能拿到击杀入账。
EDG already confirmed first seed no matter what because of map differential. Yeah, you might be right.
而且这一分有宇宙分裂啊，连接起来跟独木差不多的效果，所以 A 点还是同样在骗 Aaron 夜路。
Although I don't know because usually Wikipedia is pretty on top of those things, so they haven't said that they're top seed.
想做英雄。
I think it had to, like, they're probably going to be top seed now. Like, doubly confirmed if DRG lose this series.
开不开？不开，退 B 场，但是唐哲浩还是开了，退到了死点。
Yeah, it might not matter now. It did matter at the start of the day. I know that much. But I didn't look into it that much because I was more like, I think the BLG qualifying and tech not qualifying. BLG qualifying and Nova not qualifying is more important.
但是标到放不出来，没收这个回复的。这个时候可以先盯包给一些压力哦，因为蛇吻是放不出来的。看到了，刚好唐哲浩。
And they catch him.
过来的，因为正面在放动静，露脚步，
还得是魁蛇。
Let me double check. I'll give it a quick gloss over.
而且他零点球，但是探到了大致的位置。
那看一下中 B 长的民居，可能有点时候。
Elbow 这个民居掉的好像有一点点远，不知道有没有捡到。我看出这分打好了呀，在里面打了2个。
Yeah, I think it's like, I mean, if DRG lose this, then EDG would be top seed.
现在又是6比11，跟第一张地图有一些相似。卢克的民居应该是回收了回来。
Because if EDG lose 2-0, it'd be 9-5, so +4.
对，无价。
If DRG, don't know if that's counting on the same map, but if they win here, 10-6 +4.
想要来抓这个 SK 打了一个扫射转移。
So yeah, no, like DRG could make top seed even now still if they reverse sweep this. But EDG have to lose against Trace 0-2. And they have to, like, DRG have to win like 13-1 and shit like that. Plus 46 round differential is hard to beat. But they have to, like, EDG have to basically get 13-0'd. But it's not confirmed yet just because, like, it depends a lot on how other games happen. But it's near enough. Even at this point, FPX isn't confirmed for their top seed.
他们现在其实可以骗一波，就是骗打真打 B， 然后你洗了毒之后，然后这边可以让 Aaron 过来吃球。
So at least DRG losing this, it makes everything else a lot more simple.
吃球就是这样，吃完球然后进去找人，下一个是谁？进去标点，卢克得走了，他得退到掩体后面，你无处可逃，精准制导。
Euro Hunter's Fury play, is it hitting anything? Eventually gets Luke.
左边还是有人的。
Right, they're in. TZH tries to fight, can't. Nick gets Aaron, who was playing right back far side before anybody else was. And then Vukashi 1 versus 3. Odd fight, but I mean, it works. There might have been a point of, like, no return, where now they just can't get enough rounds mathematically for it to work. DRG looking kind of lost, am I wrong? Yeah, I mean, they've looked lost all day. It's such a flip-floppy team. I mean, it's a fantastic result for TYLOO. But I think it really does drag DRG down into that pack of like mediocre teams.
持续的给到了压力 ，B 点还是 IceKing 一个人的单挂，这回合没有人来抓他了，他可以更加自在一些。天路也是打得不紧不慢，持续在控图。
可以拿6个赛点，现在完全不着急。
是的，今天他们整体的控图意识也非常的强，几乎很多次员工重镇还有微风岛屿，
just Tyler out strategizing him a bit.
而现在2楼慢摸这个半线，因为要
Hey, Monkey Meatloaf.
永远都是给到门后的。
Yeah, I mean this.
开门给分身打闪。
All of the TYLOO series have felt the same now. And to be fair, a lot of teams that have played up against TYLOO, like TYLOO just makes them. TYLOO makes other teams look worse. Like TYLOO look bad, but they also make the other teams play bad, which is why I don't like watching TYLOO. Like it's not even like TYLOO's fault. Like we saw Nova making a lot of huge mistakes. We've seen DRG like do a lot of silly things today.
他用手撕了一把名狙，2楼这个位置双七打掉一个，立马被弗伦星补枪，弗伦星打了2个，还剩1名敌人，只剩
IceKing 1 versus 2. There's 6 chances. Sorry, I'm not even doing them. The basic stuff.
只能在 A 点，
必须得就只能在这个位置下爆能器。14秒，再找人，再找过点，先打一个，1打1。
Oh man, close.
他的定位非常精准。
Was against the Eco, right? There was a couple of sheriffs and stuff. So yeah, again, it's. Rounds that shouldn't be close are.
没有升起之前就被拿到了手杀，就是我们一直在等这个竖向的独木，可能还在交流，因为2楼的管道其实摸得很顺利，没有碰到太多的阻碍。
对。
DRG losing is good for JDG, right?
看出来天路赛前的准备
Depends in what sense.
他们应该是有练过，但是这一回合我就想这么打了，然后再
Like TYLOO winning isn't good for JDG.
都是直接给到 A 点了，但是刚才那个独木他其实捏在手里捏了很。
But you'll have a head-to-head game there for like stage 2. But JDG can't make playoffs. But I'm thinking like for next stage, I mean this is feeling like a tick pause. They just have to keep us in this game for a little bit longer. I feel like I'm wearing a straitjacket watching these guys. I'm just like, get me out.
这个容错率还是有在的，而微风岛屿这张图起到狂徒的比重是最多的。狂徒在所有的距离里面一发徒步命中都是160，所以之前最早的这些轻甲战术就是在
They just have to make us
打身体都是
make us suffer a little bit longer.
轻甲跟重甲没有太多的区别。
在这张地图，如果你不是像100T 的
I mean, to be fair, Zara, like Trace didn't play very good.
对，除非你是
I don't think it was DRG playing lights out Valorant as such. I think Trace lost because Trace were bad that day.
交火距离，但大部分情况下你都是要在30码开外去交火。
对，
而且如果一枪头打124，你会非常恼火。
一般练
Found the better, maybe, yeah.
控场的烟味就是
Also, first time Chada saying that too. It doesn't bode well.
情况下，因为他混烟没有弹道。
但是最主要的点还是看你自己。
I need a Wii too, so I'm just a bit like. Fung seems kind of off. On that day, yeah. Like, some of the worst performances he's had, like on Cypher, for sure. But, I don't know. I feel at the moment, nowadays, running stuff like... I'd much rather be running a Yoru over a KO on Breeze, that's for sure. But it obviously depends on how good your Yoru players are. Top 6 make playoffs. If DRG have less of a lead, they could catch up, and TYLOO winning isn't that bad because I don't really see them winning against the other teams in the group. Yeah. I guess it's good overall because DRG have played the majority of their fixtures and gone 3-3. So yeah. And JDG are 1-4.
而现在 DRG 又在逆风前行，又是逆风局。
JDG as well, a really good like. Even though they've lost a lot of series, JDG have really good map differential. Because outside of Billy, they've taken a map off of every team that they've lost, including EDG. You don't think the TYLOO could catch AG or Tech off guard? Tech for sure. All gamers, I hope not. What I don't need is TYLOO versus all gamers. I don't need all gamers stomping them and then getting to 11 rounds. And then suddenly they start choking and TYLOO fall upwards to overtime.
蟒侠也掉在了远处。
I might just like it, whatever time that is on stage 2, I might just miss that day.
其实两个队友的这个阵亡多少都有点救他的成分在，所以暴露了一些身位给到对方。但是他蟒侠的这个瞄准拿到了3杀，帮助队伍有一个人数的领先。最后2打1，字母哥没有枪械也没有办法。跟第一局
The timeout now too.
确实有那么一点相似。
现在有点开始 choke 了，所以教练也开始叫个暂停。
那么之前都是比较领先的，这才是他们的第一个战术暂停，而这个暂停对
Ryan is mysteriously sick all of a sudden, yeah.
他们早早的就把2个战术暂停给用掉了。
I'll just go throw myself into traffic to avoid it.
叫出一些暂停作为调整。那天路现在的优势还是非常大的，12比8的比分，看看能不能拿下 DRG 的这个招牌地图，打了6次的微风刀。
The greatest chokers of today versus the greatest chokers of all time. I just joined. Yeah, it's good for TYLOO, yeah. Even though it doesn't affect DRG's chances of making playoffs, it's bad for DRG, for sure. Like, really, like you almost need to do relatively well at playoffs to make up for it. DRG saving strats? I hope not. That'd be a dumb as fuck thing for them to be doing. Doing well in groups is more important than making playoffs, just full stop. If you want to be attended champs, and you've not really done that much, like you didn't win kickoff because you're not EDG, you didn't win Madrid because nobody did, you need to be doing good in groups. I mean, it's likely that we're going to be seeing DRG versus Trace. Oh no, wait, actually it'd be DRG versus... It doesn't really matter actually for seeding because you play within your own group. So it'd probably be like DRG versus Billy Billy, whether who's top, the second seed or third seed doesn't matter. I'm dying for a Wii, please. I should have gone when it was a timeout. That's the other thing about having like the groups play the opposite group is that seeding literally doesn't matter in the slightest. Other than getting top seed because you get to actively avoid it. There's the Yoru ultimate again. They know that he's right in on this corner. This is a trip. Is that going to pull people in? I mean, Observer, just stay on somebody for Christ's sake. Don't need you swap into 2 different people whilst they're trying to go for a fight. Jesus Christ. Who do you reckon will win BLG versus DRG playoff games? Good question. Okay, that's it. That's done. I don't need to think about TYLOO for another couple of months, so that's good.